What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 152 of the Rise to Glory. And today starts a new era in our managerial chapter, because if you've been observant and you look in the top left, you will see that we are now the Gibraltar national team manager. Now, this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and as you guys all know, I missed out on the opportunity to get the job a little over 6 years ago now, and I've kind of sat waiting for the current manager to be sacked, and it's just not happened. And I kind of suggested this a few kind of years ago now in terms of in-game, that what I'd do is I'd add a new manager just via the FM tab as the Gibraltar manager, retire him, and then take over him whilst also being the Gibraltar Apex manager. That is what I've done. So as you can see here, I added in a kind of dud manager and retired him immediately. Letting you guys know about this now, I feel like it's best that I just kind of tell you how it is. I know some people probably aren't a fan of this, but for me, I've been patient. It's been 6 years. The national team job isn't a job that, you know, the Gibraltar FA particularly get through too quickly, and so I wanted to take over it now for a specific reason. And yeah, let's talk about that specific reason. And if we go to the Gibraltar national team squad and we look at the striker, Mosca has decided that he is a Gibraltarian and not a Brazilian, and I am very happy about that. And it really was on the kind of back of basically Mosca saying, I'm going to play for Gibraltar, that I was kind of sat thinking, if I'm going to take over the Gibraltar national team job, really, you know, now is as good a time as ever. So that's what we've done. I've become the Gibraltar manager. And yeah, in terms of the immediate future of this job, the Euro qualifying campaign kind of group stage just finished. You'll see that we're in the playoffs, but you can see here in the qualifying group for the Euros, this being Euro 2036, the Gibraltar team actually finished rock bottom of their group here in Group I. They got 2 points. They were awful. Now, I don't know if the manager would have been sacked anyway off the back of that, but if you don't know, the well, not the Champions League, sorry, the Europa League, Euro 2016, not 2016, 2036, and in fact, every Euro from 2020 onwards has a different qualifying format to the one we've had recently. So, of course, the format for this year, 2016's qualifying, was that all the top 2 teams in every single qualifying group went through, and then I believe there was a playoff between the 8 best placed third place teams. Now, from next year, kind of European Championship being 2020, that changes a little bit, because what happens is, much like this year, the top 2 teams that you can see here marked qualify for the competition. And then what happens is the new UEFA Friendly League is used to determine the other spots. And if you don't know about the UEFA Friendly League, again, just to explain it real quick, if we look at all the groups here, basically what's happened is there is the A division, which consists of 4 groups of 3. We then have the B divisions, and again, there's 4 of them. You then have the C, and well, as you might be able to guess, you then have the D division. Now, the way this works is essentially it's 4 kind of tiers, and in Division D, if you win Group 1, you will then go into Group C's Division 1. Does that make sense? So essentially it's like a promotion and relegation with lots of leagues. Now, the thing that makes this unique is that in an attempt to get smaller teams to qualify, or at least have a chance to qualify for the Euros, UEFA have changed it. So as I mentioned, the top 2 teams from each kind of qualifying group go through, and then the winners of the different qualifying groups, of course, you can see here there is the D kind of divisions, and there's 4 teams. There's then the C divisions where there's 4 teams, the B division when there's 4 teams, and the A division where there's 4 teams. Now, the way this works is that these teams who win go into the qualifying playoffs as opposed to the third place teams. I've probably explained this horrifically. What you need to know is essentially if you win one of these kind of friendly divisions and you're not already qualified, you make it into the European playoffs rather than the third place team. If we look at the C division, you'll notice that Gibraltar actually finished ahead of Northern Ireland and Montenegro to get a spot in this. I think it was on goal difference to Northern Ireland, but still they won it. As a result, our first games in charge of Gibraltar are going to be kind of interesting ones, because it means that we are going to be in the European Championship playoffs, and in those games we are going to be taking on Romania. You can see here it's just a one-legged game. This is going to take place on the 28th of March, which today, if you don't know, we're doing the Champions League first knockout round. If we switch to our club view, those games at the end of March kind of slot in nicely following on from this episode. So that is what next episode will be. You can see today we're going to do the 2 games against Atletico Madrid. We've got 1 today, and then we have the away tie in just under a month's time. Anyway, hopefully that fills you in on kind of what's going on with the national team job. I feel like I did not the best job of explaining how exactly we qualify for the playoffs for the European Championships. Someone write it better down in the comments for me. Maybe I did an okay job, in which case let me know. Anyway, since the last episode, which was that game against Swansea, you can see we've won every game. But recently, it's been a bit iffy. We've won 2 games 1-0. I don't really like that. We beat Manchester 62 1-0 in a game that was closer than I'd like. Granted, we did rotate the team just a little bit, but it was still one of our best lineups. And we scraped through against College Europa in the Senior League Cup semi-final. In this game, however, we were a dominant side, really. It was an exceptional defensive display by Europa's goalkeeper, really, to just keep them in that. So anyway, those were 2 close games, but with the exception of those, really have been running away with the kind of league as you'd kind of come to expect. But those games that are close against teams that aren't Gibraltar Lions give me a little bit of optimism that things could be getting interesting soon. Anyway, in terms of our team for today's game, this is perhaps where things get a little bit interesting because you can see I've got a lot of players rested. Our fixtures have been pretty crazy. But there is a man who is surprisingly fit, and it's Mosca. He's recovered exceptionally quickly from his injury. He's not match fit for today's game. He's been out for 8 months with cruciate knee ligament damage. But he's back today, and I'm very excited by that. The 25-year-old, a fantastic player. His physicals took a little bit of a hit with him getting injured, but he's still a really good player for us, the 25-year-old, and I'm excited to kind of see what kind of damage he can do for us today. In terms of this game against Atletico, I think we've got to go with the wider system. In terms of how I'm going to line up, I'm going to probably go with what I consider to be our best team. Just a little bit of injury news worth noting is the fact that Duz is currently out with a broken toe. He's out for between a week and 2 weeks, so he will be on the bench at least for the second leg against Atletico if we want to call upon him. Anyway, in terms of the rest of our team, things are fairly good. We've not got too many injuries. There's a few to kind of younger players like Glenn Andre here. And Gilvan's also been out. But with the exception of that, we're pretty good all in all. So I'm kind of excited, I guess, by our chances here to hopefully make something happen against Atletico. We are at home for the first leg, which is nice, but we do want to give a really good performance here and get ourselves ahead in the tie as a whole tonight. But anyway, let's get into today's game. It's going to be an exciting one. Just a little bit of an interesting thing there. In the Rock Cup, College Europa and their kind of feeder team, Europa Pegasus, who are bound to the 2nd Division of Gibraltar, playing each other. Not sure if that should be allowed or not, but it's happened. We'll see how they get on. But in our own game here, 4-2-3-1, we're taking on Atletico Madrid. Let's just have a quick look at their team really quickly. So they're expected to play a 4-4-1-1. Which is kind of interesting in terms of where their kind of strengths lie. This guy, Alfonso's got a really good average rating, 28 years old, looks like a very, very good attacking midfielder, valued at £52 million. He's not too shabby. And he is actually their star player looking at it. There's just one more thing that's popped into my head as something I should talk about, so let's talk about it. And it's something that I could have easily forgotten, actually, so I'm glad I did remember it. I've just got to remember how to get to the screen that I want. So we go to the world overview and we take a look at the awards and we look at the team of the year. Look at this. Boom. 4 players in the team of the year. I like it. Gaiganov and Kabasele at fullback both making it into this team. Joe Buchada, deep line playmaker. I love the fact that he's getting some love as kind of one of our deep lying players. The fact that he's in the World Team of the Year is really cool. And Girard as well in the centre attacking midfield position, also up there. Kind of surprisingly, Paul Smith not on the list today. Either way, that is our team for today's game. Let's submit it. Let's see how we get on. We're playing that 4-2-3-1. Top goal scorer in the competition, Volid Duz. He's out injured. We already knew that. Sebastian Girard, though, has 9 goals to his name. So I think it's fair to say we're not really lacking goals on this side. And with Mosca back, well, it's a bit of a homecoming for him, I guess, to come back to the side at the Space Park and make his debut in this year's European season. And whether or not he can last the entire game, I think is a little bit doubtful. 81% match sharpness as well, you know, a little bit concerning. It's probably going to mean that his condition drops off a little bit quicker. And with him coming back from such a long injury, I don't want to rush him back too much. But for a game like today, we can't be without him. So keep an eye on it, kind of an eye out on him. Hopefully he can give a good game coming back. Hopefully that injury isn't going to kind of have completely wrecked him. Of course, he's going to be back in the Gibraltar national team, which is nice. But for a lot of players, an 8-month injury really can ruin a career. Let's see how Mosca bounces back. He beats 2 men. Can he finish? Oh, well, welcome back. Welcome back. 7 seconds in. 7 seconds. 7 minutes. First goal of the season for Mosca. It's a lovely turn. It's a lovely goal. Robson Carnu-esque. And, welcome back to the team, my friend. He has been out for a while, as I said. Players can get injured for 8 months, and they just aren't the same player. Mosky picks up the ball here with his back to goal. He just turns both men. And then he slots it. Maybe the keeper should do better. It's a really nice, powerful finish. And, he can make something out of nothing, that guy. And he has made something out of what was really only a half chance there. Mosca scores. We're 1-0 up. What a start that is. Hopefully we can build upon that now at the Space Park here. And, so far, so good. Looking at the stats, we're on top in this game. We're edging possession. We've had more shots. That said, Thiago in our own box here. But Paul Smith with it now. Can we build? Mosca to Girard. Sebastian Girard surging on ahead. Junior. Can he get the ball into the box? He can. Mosca's... welcome back. I've missed this guy. We needed him in the group stage. He was a massive miss for us. It's his second goal. That is 2 in 11 minutes for him. Junior with the ball whipped in. Mosca just sat at the penalty area, just arriving late, nods it home, doesn't even need to jump, and just guides it. That's what he offers. Goals for absolutely nothing. This is bringing a big smile to my face. When the 8-month injury happened, I knew that Sebastian Girard and Duz could really step up to the plate. But Mosca is just a little favourite of mine, and to have him back in this game doing well is amazing. And Young in goal as well is doing amazing. That's a great save there. A real opportunity for Atletico goes a-begging. Mosca's going to want his hat-trick now, isn't he? We can't get too carried away, though. 2-0 up is good, but a clean sheet in this home tie would be very valuable for us in the Champions League. As Ibanez brings it forward. Alfonso with the effort. And, Young has saved it again somehow. Maybe we can break here, but what goalkeeping that was. Mosca tries to play it through to Paul Smith. Can't find his man there. But, Ludwig Young so far on a 7.1 rating. He deserves that. He deserves it to be higher as it jumps now to a 7.2. He's made some big saves for us so far in this game. And, at half-time, 2-0 up. What a start this has been. Very, very happy with the performance. Paul Smith struggling a little bit, as is Junior out wide on the right, although Junior has got an assist. But no, the players reacting well. We're 2-0 up. I don't want to say we're in control of this game, but I do feel like we've been the better team. Of course, Atletico have had some chances, so we do need to be wary of them. And, that sloppy pass there leaves us in some trouble. And Thiago flies in. Please don't be a stupid red card. It's going to be one, isn't it? I know this game. Okay, it's not. I take it all back. Thiago is still a stupid booking. Whatever way you look at it, he'll probably now foul the guy immediately. And give away a red card. Atletico on the attack, the ball in our area, questionable defending, but we get it away to Mosca. He's not got the same pace he once had, but he's still pretty rapid there, the lone striker. Mosca again, he's got a hat-trick. It was in the script. It was one of those things where you want it to happen, and you just don't know if it could happen. He got 87 goals last season, let's not forget that. I was worried that he was going to come back and not get them. That's a Canio scissor kick at the back post for the hat-trick. Take a bow, my son. Take a massive bow. Welcome back. I feel like I've said that 3 or 4 times, but I just want to make sure that he knows it. Great defending again there. Atletico with another clear-cut chance, but some nice blocking. And then Young picking up the ball. Leaves us strong there. Junior with 2 assists to his name. Paul Smith struggling, so we're going to bring in Oliveira for a bit of a run-out. Elsewhere, Thiago's looking complacent and on a booking, so I'm going to take him off for Joe Bouchard to just slot into that kind of slightly more defensive midfielder spot for us. But no, 3-0 up, we're looking good. Going to, make a few changes. The game's been a lot tighter than the scoreline would suggest. We've had no real clear-cut chances. It's just been a finishing masterclass, as we now have another chance. And, Mustafa hits the woodwork. That's a poor cross by Junior in the end, but a chance to make it 4, and maybe it'd be premature to say it, but I would really feel like if we were to get a 4th, that's probably game over in this game, as Mustafa cuts it out. Volsky to Girard. Mosca lays in Junior. Junior scores a great finish. He's offside. Don't even say. Everyone sit down. It was a really good finish by the winger, though. Mosca with the assist on the disallowed goal there. And as I said, if we can get one more this game, I don't want to say we're in cruise control, but I'll be confident. Junior whips in. Can't beat the first man this time, but Girard picks it up. On a booking, though. If Atletico score one here, it would make things interesting. So we do need to remain resolute at the back as Volsky gets in a great tackle. Joe Bouchard, the sub. Big ball up, trying to link it with Mosca. Can't quite pick him out, although Oliveira, the sub, is on. Junior, can he find a ball into the box? Volsky to Gaiganov. A ball from deep, trying to find Girard. Cleared out, but only as far as Volsky. Lays it to Seb. Seb scores. That is 4-0 now. Girard with his 42nd goal of the season. Not bad in February. Probably not on course for 87. But nevertheless, that is a good goal for us. Volsky just draws in one of the centre-backs there. Giroud on the shoulder of the defence. Well, that's a really class finish on his left foot there into the top right corner. This is a different Gibraltar Apex side to the one we were seeing in the Champions League group stage, where we were very underwhelming. That defeat against Utrecht should never have happened. We went, obviously, 2 goals down against Swansea, which was a good fight back, but again, shouldn't have happened. And we're on the attack again here. Could we get 5? Probably not. Santos collects it. With 84 minutes gone now, I'm quite happy to defend our lead, but if we can get one more, fantastic. Oliveira to Mosca. Fred through Giroud. Giroud scores. It's 5. Mosca and Giroud have just linked up superbly this game. Giroud has played off him perfectly. Giroud playing that kind of attacking midfielder role behind Mosca. And you can see here, they kind of sit on each other, and then they just spring a trap, and the defenders do not know who to pick up. It's 5-0. It's been a masterclass, as I said. Mosca's been superb. Could we get 6? Why not? Can we dare to dream? The first knockout round of the Champions League. Bear in mind, Atletico won their group. That is, again, it's worth remembering. They won their Champions League group. They're a good side. So to be winning this 5-0 is insane. We still need to defend, though. As I said, we want the clean sheet. He's hit the crossbar there. That's an incredible effort by Ibanez. Danger might not have gone an effort. A little bit Young holds on to it. I mean, this game's been a weird one. We've not had a lot of chances, and if I was on the receiving end of this kind of result, I'd be complaining. But today, I can gloat with a smile on my face. That is fantastic. Mosca with a man-of-the-match performance. Wasn't struggling as much as I thought he might be by the end either. And, well, we have now a month until the next game against Atletico, so there's plenty of time for Mosca to recover. And, well, that is the perfect performance. If we just look here at the Champions League and we look at the group stage, Atletico finished top of their group. They drew one and lost one. It wasn't a super convincing performance, really, but they were in a tough group with Juventus and English champions Arsenal. So to beat them 5-0 is a really good feat. I mean, you look here, they conceded 4 goals in their 6 group stage games, and we surpassed that total in just 1 match. And yeah, well, a good game for Mosca to come back. And I just saw a cool news item saying that Mosca's heaped praise on me for standing by him during his injury. I mean, I wasn't going to let him rot away after his injury, but wow, I mean, I'm a happy bunny. I have to apologise if I'm going on too much about Mosca, but what a player. What a player. Right, we've still got another game to do this episode, but that 5-0 win against Atletico should make this next game fairly elementary, so I'm looking forward to it for once. Hopefully I'll see you guys at that one. It's in 4 games' time. We've got a month away, and yeah, I will be back in a second for that second leg. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second leg of this game against Atletico Madrid, and to be honest, I didn't really anticipate coming into this leg so relaxed. It was such a great performance in that last game. Mosca, of course, coming back from injury. Since that game, we've played 4 games, not massive wins really, and that's kind of been a tale of this season. The league is definitely getting tighter, albeit kind of slowly, and I think that's, you know, worth reiterating and remembering. For example, and I didn't even realise this at the time, I was just looking at College Europa. They have some pretty good players here. You know, they've got Ghanaian internationals now who look like very adequate players, College Europa. They're doing a very good job this year in terms of in the league. But yeah, they've got quality players, and it's something that I'm beginning to realise perhaps I've underestimated some of the progress which is being made. Whilst College Europa do remain third, they've got some nice players on their books, and even Manchester 62 in 4th, you know, they've got some great players too. They've got this guy, Pau Torres, who looks like a pretty good Spanish centre mid. And hopefully, obviously, these teams can continue to add those kind of players. Anyway, you can see we beat Lynx 4-0. Good result. Mosca getting a goal. Giroud with a brace. Gilvan with the 4th. Mosca grabbed another 2 against FC Britannia. We then beat Lincoln Red Imps 3-0. Rildo, Gilvan and Giroud with the goals. And then we beat Gibraltar Lions in what was a surprisingly tight game. 3-2. Sebastian Giroud with a brace. Mosca getting a 3rd for us. But no, those games still pretty tight, particularly that one against Gibraltar Lions. We were in control of the game, to be honest, but yeah, it went a lot closer than I'd like it to. In terms of our team for today's game, obviously, we're in a pretty good position right now. Duz is coming back from his broken toe. We're 5-0 up after the first leg. If we can get a goal here, that's game over immediately, you'd think. Atletico, if we do just score the 1, they're going to need 7, and I can't see them getting 7, if I'm honest. And of course, we've got something to look forward to after this episode, which I outlined at the start, but we will, of course, have that national kind of break coming up where we will be playing in the playoffs of Euro 2036. And well, Mosca's hit some form. He's back fit. Obviously, we don't want him to get injured today, as I do believe this is the second to last game before that international break. But no, something to look forward to next episode. A bit of a change of pace from kind of the Champions League cycle that I feel like we've been on over the last few years. But anyway, we're 5-0 up. As I said, I feel relaxed. If they get an early goal, Atletico, maybe I start to panic a little bit, but we're going to play on the front foot. We're going to attack. We're going to see what we can do. I feel like we can afford to be attacking in this game, and even if we get stuffed 3-0, we're safe in the knowledge of the fact that we're going to be through. 5-0 really is just such a massive lead. I don't think I've ever thrown away a lead quite this big from a first leg in Football Manager. I feel like you'd almost have to try to do it in some ways. That said, Atletico do get an early goal, 5 minutes gone. Part of me just wants to play on contain from the start here. It would feel a little bit cheesy. I could switch to counter, but again, do I need to? Probably not. I mean, they're dominating the ball early on, and they have got a goal after 5 minutes, but to score 5 goals unanswered is going to be a tricky task for even the world's best team, you'd feel. Young, unfortunate not to get there, an athletic effort by him. But that ball finding its way into the top corner. I mean, maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe I'm being too dismissive. Maybe I should be panicking. Atletico on the attack. Volsky cuts it out. Mosca coming forward. Holds it up nicely. Laid off to Girard. Men on ahead of him, as is Skeffington at right back. And Skeffington whips it in for Doos. And Skeffington, I didn't really talk about my lineup going into today's game. The reason he is playing is because Giganov is out for a few weeks. Skeffington, an Australian player who's been in my reserves for a number of years, just kind of developing very slowly. But a fully fledged Australian international player and a very good fullback, and he got a good ball into the box there. So a good player for us. It is worth noting that Graf Wright is leaving at the end of the year to go to Greece. And with that, Skeffington has been added to our Champions League squad. And, well, Graf Wright, who is leaving, the traitor, who unfortunately is in our Gibraltar national team side, he has kind of, been demoted and kind of is not registered for the Champions League for this kind of second half of the competition. And, well, with Giganov injured, as I said, Skeffington is the go-to right back. So he's got a little bit of a chance to prove himself today. And he's had a good start. And Girard, oh my gosh, if that had gone in, I would have been celebrating a lot. Nice little run by Girard, an ambitious effort at the end of it. But nice to see some attacking intent from us. Of course, getting that away goal now heaps the pressure on Atletico. They are going to need 6 goals. Yeah, 6 goals in the remainder of this game without us scoring 1 to get anything now. Because of the away goals rule, I mean, they've got 2. They need 5 more. I mean, I don't want to sit here counting how many goals they need. But it makes me feel, it reassures me that we're going to be fine. 5-0 was really an unprecedented result, you know. That's more than I'm beating a lot of teams in Gibraltar by this season. It was such a good performance in the first leg. I knew it was going to be near enough impossible to match that this leg. That said, you know, I have picked a pretty strong team, you know, of our best 11. So I do expect us to give Atletico a good game. Perhaps, you know, I'm playing the narrower system today rather than the wider system that works so well against Atletico. Wonder if that's just playing into things a little bit. In the end, I decided to go with this narrower formation just because it better fits some of the players I wanted to rotate into the side. I wanted to try Mosca, Girard and Doos all playing alongside each other, which is something I can do with the wider formation by playing Doos as a right midfielder, but he doesn't really play there. Anyway, we're doing okay here. We're on the ball. I mean, I say that, we give away the ball immediately. Now, Ibanez to Alfonso, but it's cut out nicely. Now can we build? Doos, Girard and Mosca. I don't know where their defence is. That should have been a goal. Girard is Mr. Sitter. I mean, I'm glad he's missing them in this game, but I'd rather he doesn't miss them at all. But no, he was clean through there. I don't even know quite what happened to the Atletico defence there. It just kind of disintegrated in front of our very eyes. And now they're on the attack. Ibanez crosses it in for Alfonso. I mean, they're 3-1 up. If the second half finished 3-1, we'd still go through, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. You know, 4 goals in the second half for them. They've scored 3 this half. Should I be worried? Probably more than I am. I still feel relatively relaxed. I mean, if they got 1 more now before half time, oh, don't do this game. Thiago's going to get sent off. That looked bad. That looked bad. Is it a red? It's a yellow. I feel like whenever Thiago flies into a tackle expecting to get sent off, have they just... Oh dear. You know what? I shouldn't have been so dismissive. I should be panicking now. This really should be just a super comfortable game. And instead, I'm sat here Nervous. Nervous is the best way to describe it. Let's just change to play on the counter for the second half. Let's not mess this up now. I should be pleased with the players. No, I'm not. I'm not happy with your performance out there. Thiago's had an absolute nightmare at centre defensive mid as well. Unfortunately, I forgot to put Mini Mosca on the bench, which is a mistake of my own doing. So we'll keep Thiago on for now, but no, my lucky one, I'll get sent off. That's how this works. But no, we'll see how we get on. We're switching to that more defensive system now. Cabasele struggling. Mosca twisted. Oh, if he's injured for the international games, I'm going to be pissed. That's angry. Not pissed. Just a little bit upset. I don't know why I said pissed really high-pitched. Answers on a postcard. I feel like the state of this game has got to me. It's tipped me over the edge. I'm going to crack mentally based on the stresses of this game. I mean, at least this second half's not an Atletico goal so far. If we get one more goal, we're fine. If we keep a clean sheet for another 10 minutes, we're probably fine. They still need 3 goals in the remaining 18 minutes. They almost found one there, though. That hit the crossbar, that header to the back post. We have been let off the hook right there. I must admit, I'm now kind of worried about Mosca's injury. That is now the concern of mine. I now have 2 reasons to worry, not just from a club perspective, but because, obviously, we are the Gibraltar manager now. But Rildo on the pitch to Doos. Doos should be finishing that, really. But no, this has been a weird game. I wanted it to be comfortable. I was hoping we'd come into this game 0-0, fine. We've conceded 4. That's really shocking. Atletico really going for the game now. If we get 1 goal here, it's game over. Rildo turns his man. Can he finish it? He can't. Santos holds on to it. It's another clear-cut chance for us, which we've not really taken. And if the first leg kind of story, as far as we're concerned, was all about really a finishing masterclass, this leg has been anything but that. It's been pretty poor, you know. 3 clear-cut chances, scoring just the 1 goal, and a lot of half chances as well. That said, we're on the attack here. Rildo, can he pick out Doos in the box? He can't. He doesn't even get the ball into the box. Now it's going to be Dvovsky or Zubovsky to bring the ball forward. Now with Ibanez, who goes for an ambitious effort, goes way wide of the mark in the end. But Atletico with, well, a half chance. We now have a set piece. Just pick out Mustafa and we score. That's how this works. I mean, he's hit the woodwork. Maybe that's not how it works. He's offside too. I mean, there's lots of chances to win this game. I just want one to be a goal for us. Gilvan, or Girard rather, with the effort there, hit the keeper with a save. And then, well, I think it was Volsky who missed a sitter there. He hit the woodwork with an open goal with the keeper on the ground. It's like we don't want to make this comfortable. We don't want to let me enjoy the remainder of this game. The players kind of know what's at stake. They know I'm close to cracking. I feel like I don't need to crack anymore. 4-1 up. Or 4-1 down, 6-4 up. We're going through. It's been a bit of a let-off in some ways. Definitely should have switched to the wider system. But in the second half, we remained compact on the counter. It worked for us. You know, we've come away with a result. We got a clean sheet in the second half. I'm going to tell the players that we got away with one there, though, and they were poor. I'm really not happy about that. Now we look for the Mosca injury and hope it's not serious. 3 to 4 weeks. That might be him out of international duty, which is going to be a shame if that is the case. But regardless, you know, we do get £4 million for playing in that Champions League first knockout round, which is good. And with that, we of course reach the quarter-final, which in itself is a good little achievement. Anyway, guys, in terms of when we'll be back, the next game that we have is an international game on the 28th, as you can see here. So not long until that one, really. That will be against Romania. Hopefully I'll see you guys for that game. It's in, well, just over a week's time, so it doesn't look like Mosca's going to be fit, which is a bitter shame. Going to be a tricky game, but hopefully we can get something from that. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.